Hello and welcome to the series on reforming the Roman Empire as Aragon. We're going to go over cultures today. You're going to be expanding a lot into Anatolia, and there's going to be Turkish culture provinces there, and there's going to be really high unrest. One way you can deal with that is to promote the Turkish culture. So we're going to go to our government tab here and look at the cultures. You've got accepted cultures in the left-hand column, and non-accepted cultures to the right. You're only allowed a certain number of promoted cultures, and you'll always have a primary culture. The number of promoted cultures can change depending on your technology level or certain idea groups. But when you start the game as Aragon, you're allowed to have 2 promoted cultures, and they're already taken up by Catalan and Sicilian. You could demote a culture, but you'll get some unrest, you'll get less income and less manpower, and you'd rather not do that. So one way around that is to culture shift all the Aragonese provinces to Catalan, make Catalan your primary culture, and that will free up a slot which you can then later use for Turkish once you start conquering some provinces in Anatolia. So I'll go over the map mode here real quick. You'll see different colors. Green, the light green is your primary culture. The dark green are any promoted cultures. Yellow is any non-promoted culture within your culture group, and red is any non-promoted culture outside your culture group. When you start conquering some of these Turkish provinces and you're in this map mode, they're all going to show up as red, but our goal is to get it to show up as dark green. Now the thing to know about non-promoted cultures within your culture group is that once you achieve Empire Government rank, which you can do once you get to 1000 development, all those cultures automatically become accepted cultures. So we can see here that Basque is not accepted, but it has this little bronze star. That means that once you form Empire Government rank, Basque will automatically become an accepted culture, and you don't have to do anything to do that. That's just a passive ability. If you don't have the Common Sense DLC, this will automatically happen once you get to 1000 total development. You don't have to actually form the Empire Government rank. So to actually change the culture to Catalan, or to change your primary culture to anything, it needs to be more than 50% of your total development. And when it counts development, it's only counting the states you have. So if you have territories, then that development doesn't count. But you want it to be more than 50%. And if we shift all the Aragonese provinces to Catalan, that will put us above the 50% threshold. But to demonstrate the states, notice here how Basque has 0% of the total development, but if I turn Vasconia into a state, and I go back here and check, now Basque is 3% of the total development, and these other cultures all decreased a little bit. So in order to shift the provinces to Catalan, you'll do that within the actual province. You see here it says the culture, and as long as you don't have any separatism and the province is your religion, you can click here and you can spend some Diplo points to change the culture. Now, you can't just change any culture or any province to any culture you want. You can only switch a province to a culture of an adjacent province or to your primary culture. So for example, if we click on Sassari, it's adjacent to a Catalan province, so we can switch to Catalan, and Aragonese is currently our primary culture, so we can shift it to Aragonese. And it's going to cost a little bit more Diplo points because it's not adjacent to an Aragonese province. But if we clicked on Cagliari, we can also switch that to Sicilian because it's adjacent to a Sicilian province. So what we'll want to do here is click on these 3 Aragonese provinces and switch them all to Catalan. And this is going to take a little bit of time, but you'll want to do this right away, because if you conquer these provinces in Anatolia and you make them into states, then it's going to count that as your total development, and it'll be harder to get Catalan above that 50% threshold. So you'll want to do this pretty much as soon as you start the game. It will cost some Diplo points, but it's definitely worth it. It'll reduce the unrest over here. Once you have a promoted culture, it's also easier to convert the religion. So that will also help with the unrest. You'll want to quickly churn these Turkish provinces Catholic and have that as a promoted culture. Once Catalan is more than 50% of your total development, this little grayed out box here that says cultural shift will become available. And once Catalan becomes your primary culture, since Aragonese will not be in any provinces anymore, you'll just have one promoted culture, which will be Sicilian. So that will free up a slot. And then once you turn these provinces into a state, you can promote Turkish, and it should cost about 100 Diplo points. But once you do that, it'll be much easier to keep expanding into Anatolia without the unrest. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the other videos.